Hey, you turkeys, it's Dan and Margie from the Gen-Xers.
Hi, guys.
And we're here to talk about this thing we saw on Cheeseburger? I don't know. Things millennials grew up with that would send Gen Z into a coma. Now, you might have noticed we're not either one. We're the Gen-Xers.
Who are Gen-Xers, you say?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's why we're here to tell you. You need to watch our show and find out.
Well, let's see what the millennials think would have sent Gen Z into a coma.
You got me in a coma.
Not having GPS on their phones. So that meant when we needed directions to go somewhere, we actually had to get to a computer, go to mapquest.com, print out the directions, then hope our friend was able to dictate those directions to us in a safe way on our way to wherever we were going. You know what we had, Dan?
What's that?
The New Revised Atlas of the World, 1931. It's a gem. It's a gem of treasure trove. No, we didn't actually have this, but we had a giant atlas in our car.
Well, yeah, or a regular map, even in the glove compartment, whatever, trying to unfold those and read them while driving.
You can't
as
do it.
people would try to do. Oh, that's another reason why so many of us are deceased now, of our generation.
Right.
But I never could read them. I could never follow a map, so I didn't even leave Missouri until I was like 35. For fear of being lost forever.
You may have, but just didn't even know it at
That's
the time.
true.
You
Quite
probably
a
did
bit.
several times.
But now, of course, I'll go anywhere thanks to whatever that thing is telling me where to go.
Google Maps.
Could be anybody. Elon Musk, is that who it is?
Yes.
Behind there?
Yep. The man behind the curtain.
All right, what else does this lady have? Flip phones.
Our phones literally bent in half, and then when we hung up, we just snapped the phone in half. It sounds like a dream.
My
To me.
goodness. How I would have loved that
Right.
as a child.
Right.
Would you want to explain what our phones are like?
Well, first of all, the handset was twice again the size of your head, okay? And you had to put that up to your ear
Yeah, it was like
holes.
holding Shaq's shoe.
Right.
I'd see her face and
Yes.
trying to talk into that.
They were one size fits all, okay? You weren't folding this
No.
this sucker in half. And I know you've talked excitedly, and I have too, about in my youth when we got like the 50-foot phone line.
Yeah, that was a big day in my house. Like the cord, just so it would stretch from the phone receiver to the bathroom or the bedroom, somewhere we could get a little bit of privacy from your parents, right?
Right.
Now, I had a party line. Do you know what that is? Did you have one of those?
I do know what that is. My friend had one. We did not.
It's what poor people had. So there'd be several people on the street, and they'd all chip in and pay the phone bill together. But when one of the people were using the phone, no one else could use it. You'd pick up the phone. There you'd hear these other people talking.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people get on there just try to listen.
Mm-hmm.
See what the gossip is. That also meant that our parents never knew where the hell we were. Also, our phones didn't have cameras. And regardless, there was nowhere to post them until MySpace came out.
We ranked our friends publicly in order from favorite to least favorite, 1 through 8, and we had no apologies for it. And I think she continues on the next post.
I remember MySpace.
And if you weren't acting right that week, you were off the list very publicly, execution style, in the middle of the whole internet. Do you know how I ranked my friends, Dan? Face to face, fisticuff style.
Yeah, if you weren't acting right in my group of friends, you got
You
slipped to the eye.
knew right after lunchtime.
Fat lip.
There was no waiting around to go home and snap your phone in half and check that. Oh yeah, no, they weren't hooked up to the internet back then. But no.
We used it at my school. We ranked people by lunch table. From popular to least popular. It's not like everybody didn't already know, but for some reason we just decided. I was at that table. Buffy Joe and Billy Jack over there at the cool table enjoying their prom.
Billy Jack.
Not me. Rolling some D&D dice and wishing out a Diet Coke at a candy bar.
I'm sorry. In your school, was Billy Jack like a really wealthy? Was that somebody really wealthy's name? I'm just wondering.
There was nobody
Because
really wealthy in my school.
You threw that out as if it was an aristocrat's name there for a moment. I'm so sorry.
There was no one really wealthy in my school. You're going to have to imagine a time, I'll try my best, when the internet was not on your phones. I can remember a time when it wasn't even in my brain.
Right,
When it wasn't in anybody's brain.
right.
Ask Al Gore's.
He always knew. He always knew the possibilities. Also, our text messages cost 10 cents a text. I don't really relate to any of these.
Well, our children are millennials, so I mean, but I can't remember them bugging us for money for text, right? Like they had whatever their plan was, and that was that.
Yeah, they were.
So
I don't
but
think they were texting on ChaCha.
probably that might have been out of fashion by the time we got them phones.
I don't know.
Yeah, we were mean. We didn't get we could afford to get them phones till they're like, I don't know, in their 50s.
Yeah.
But then ChaCha came out, and you could text this number, and you could ask them literally anything. It was actually people on the other end who would text you back with the answer. You want to explain what we used to do when we needed the answer to something?
Well, we had these things. We had giant books.
Yeah.
These were, and this one's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
This is one of the many books that we had. When we needed. Yeah.
Yeah, we had some encyclopedias that were about 40 years out of date.
Yeah.
I guess my grandma had got them in the war.
Yeah, once you had a set of encyclopedias too, that was as far as the knowledge went in your household, pretty much, unless you got it from school. So you went to school and you drank everything up because you only had one set of encyclopedias. They were hundreds of dollars. They really were.
Yeah. And really, you just had to ask your teachers or your parents or your friends or...
Go to the library.
Yeah.
I went to the library a lot.
And when you're done doing all that, looking up all that stuff just because you wanted to know the name of George Washington's second wife,
Right.
was Elizabeth, by the way. Your fun was more books.
Yeah.
This was our interactive video games. Like that.
Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for the world, to be honest.
Yep.
We either had to call or had to keep it all up here till we got to our computer that night and hash it all out on AIM. We're lucky we were hashing it out with our friends if we had a 50-foot cord and our parents would let us talk on the phone.
Right. We would hash it out on the end of that 50-foot cord.
Now, look, I'm with her on this one. I'm with her on all of them. I feel bad for the millennials because I feel like everybody picks on them. Older folks, the folks younger than them, all seem to... I don't know, like to tease the millennials for some reason.
And the millennials are what age again?
Well, I think people our age and older, like everyone from the millennials on, are just more millennials. They're just the new millennial.
That's what I thought.
So we're
That's
not
what I thought.
maybe we're not always picking exactly on millennials. We're just still calling kids millennials.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know what we're on now. What generation?
I don't know. But we're with all the generations.
Yeah, we're for everybody.
Yeah.
This is all in good fun, all right? Burning CDs.
Burnt CDs were the love letters of our time. Before we were able to burn CDs, we could only go to the store and buy the full album.
Well, that is true. And I remember downloading a lot of songs on LimeWire. Please don't anybody come and get me now. All these years later.
LimeWire was the greatest.
Oh, you'd queue up about 10 songs and then wait about 3 days for them to download, or queue up some and go to sleep and hope that they had finished by the time you got up or worked or whatever.
Right.
But, I burnt so many CDs. So many. So many.
We also paved the way for your burnt CDs with our mixtapes. Yeah, we were mixing it up way back in the day.
We used to have to wait for a song to come on the radio if we wanted to listen to it for free more than once, and record it, hoping that we were there to hit record as it came on. That was our only shot, right? So yeah.
Or you had to invest in a double cassette CD or a double cassette tape player so you could record from one tape to another tape. But then you also had to have friends who had the tapes that you wanted if you didn't have the tapes.
So you could switch around, yeah.
Same concept with VCRs.
Definitely,
you know,
for sure,
we could record a ton of tapes from VHS tapes, but you know, then what did you have from that? Another VHS tape.
Well, that's that. So we've all learned something today. Margie, what have you learned?
I've learned that I love mixtapes.
I've learned that I miss playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. All right then.
And that's it. That's all I did learn nothing else.
I had a good time
Fruitless, really.
talking to our friends. Hit like, subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.